Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, November the 14th, 2024. And I'm going to tell you, I got a little pep in my step from what I saw, a little spring because I sprung to action. Not Willow, Nina says, "Hey, Jason, don't you want to congratulate your brother for winning?" And Drew looks at him. He comes over, extends his hand. Jason reaches back and Drew put Drew down, right? But Drew gets up because remember, he's a Navy SEAL. Drew gets up. Oh, he's ready. He gets a punch in on Jason, but Jason don't hit the ground. Okay. And then Jason gets up, and I think Drew may have got the next punch. But after that, it's all Jason. And so the family comes running out the family room, and Willow, Nina is just, Drew, Drew, oh, stop this, stop it. And Jason takes Drew's head and slams it into the marble counter there. But Drew's kind of landing on his hand, thank goodness. But then Ned comes running out and he pulls Jason back or pushes Jason back. And then Drew tries to, oh, but that don't work because Jason's ready to, get him good. But Ned's like, stop it, just stop this. Right? Come on, guys, we got kids in the house. Jason, I thought he was coming to talk about Danny and Scout and Rocco. He was coming to kick Drew's right. You know what that A and then the asterisk exclamation mark is for, right? So Drew says, "Why?" And Jason looked at him, said, "You know why." And he turns and he walks out the door. Drew's just looking at Nina's thinking like, what? No, Nina want to call the police. Nina want to call the ambulance because Drew is bleeding. Okay, Jason doesn't have one scratch on his face, not one real bruise mark. Drew got a good punch in, but obviously it wasn't didn't have the oomph in it that Jason's did, right? So anyway, that shocked me that they played that scene that way. So they take Drew, they sit him down on the couch, and Ned is like, "Don't let blood drip on that couch." And they looked at Ned. Drew is hurt. He goes, "Hey, I'm just trying to protect Monica. If blood gets on the couch, Monica's gonna have to find out that Jason and Drew were fighting." And we know how Monica would feel. They're like, "Yeah, okay, you're right, okay." So Brooklyn goes into the kitchen to get some ice, and Lois follows her, of course, begging. What is going on? There is a reason. Do you think there's a reason Jason went after Drew like that? And BOQ says, "Yeah, it probably is." She goes, "What is it? You know something. You definitely know something." "Yeah, maybe." And she goes, "You gotta tell me. This is driving me crazy. I need to know too. I can keep a secret." So she goes, "Well, okay, but you gotta promise you won't tell anybody." And Lois is like, so Brooklyn tells her about the kiss. Drew kissed Willow. And Lois says, What? You know, oh my goodness. Says so. And Brooklyn said, "Jason probably found out." So they were getting ready to go take the ice pack into the living room. Meanwhile, Willow, Nina goes to run to get Willow. Now, Michael and Willow were having this long, dragged out talk. We got to tell each other the truth. We got to clear the air. Michael's trying to get Willow to see if she's going to confess to him. to see if she will tell him the truth. Because, quite frankly, Michael will tell her to hurt her. Even though he wants his family, he wants them to work on everything, he would like that to be out there, I think. Right? So, anyway, still under the weather, y'all. So, anyway, Nina's knocking on the door, just as Willow says, "No, I think we need to tell each other the truth as well, Michael. I do. Because I want our father, the same old," and I'm just shaking my head. And I'm saying, Michael, how could you listen to this without gagging? Right? So anyway, Nina says, "There's been a fight at the main house and somebody got hurt. Willow, we need you. We need you." So Willow grabs her doctor's bag, well, slash nurse's bag. And I think I made this statement before. Some nurses, yes, depending on their level of nursing, like Bobby Spencer had a nursing bag. Um, I don't think we ever seen Elizabeth with one. Because yeah, I think she has had a bag when she was dealing with what's that chick's name? Esme in the where Nicholas was keeping her hostage. She may have had a bag because she was kind of monitoring her prenatally. But for the most part, the nurses I know don't have medical bags. They just don't. I mean, I'm shocked. Willow take her little stethoscope out next. So anyway, she runs out the door, but yet by the time she gets to the Quartermain's house, she got her bag with her. Now Michael comes, oh, because Nina says, she goes, "Who was fighting? Jason and Drew." And so Michael's thinking like, so he's following behind Willow. They get up there. She goes in, oh, and she's checking what happened. Well, let me see. And so she's trying to, tidy him up. And oh no. And so Ned goes, "Michael, can I have a word with you out, foyer?" Michael goes, "Sure." So he goes out with Ned, and Ned says, "Did you tell Jason?" And Michael said, "I had to have somebody to confide in." "Yes, I told Jason." And he goes, "But I didn't know he would do this." He goes, "What do you mean you didn't know he would do this? Jason takes matters into his own hands." So Michael's just like, "Well, okay." Good, because that's what I want to do to Drew. Jason did it. Now I don't have to. I could still continue to play my wife and play Drew, right? Just watching him. But sure enough, Willow was just all into his face. And oh, because Nina wants him to call an ambulance. He said, "No, no." Ned said, "No ambulances. If he gets to the hospital like this, that's going to be a scandal. He was just elected." And Drew says, "No, no, he's right. He's right. We got to keep this quiet. No ambulance." And so then she goes, "Well, we got to call the police. We need to have Jason arrested." And Ned says, "No police." And Drew's like, "No," because he goes, "You think there'd be a scandal with an ambulance in a hospital? You call the police, it'll be worse." So Drew says, "No, he's right. No, no police either." So that's when they come up with Willow. And, she could come look at his eye. So Michael's just watching her after he and Ned talk. Just, oh, and she leans in. "Do you think Jason knows about us?" Subtle, aren't we? Subtle. Now, Michael, you couldn't hear what she's saying, but Michael's watching her lean in, saying, "Uh huh." And he goes, "No, you and I are the only two that know," meaning that they slept with each other, right? Because everybody in the Quartermain house know about the kiss. So, so Michael's listening, watching her. Okay, okay. Listen, I'm so sorry that she said, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Oh, and Michael's just looking at this. See, all this stuff is just gonna boil up inside of him. And Willow says, I'm gonna be back in the morning. I'm gonna check on your eye because it's gonna need continuous dressing and some antibiotic ointment so that it doesn't get infected. And so Drew says, thank you. And Michael's just looking like, she gonna come back in the morning. I'm surprised she didn't say, listen, I'm gonna meet you. Don't worry about getting out of bed, right? I'm gonna meet you upstairs in your room. Take care of you. So, but Nina, she's watching to all this touching of his, just the way with one hand here and then the other hand. Just Nina's kind of like, is am I wrong? But is something going on between those two? Nina. So that was pretty doggone good to me. Was that whole interaction. And I'm sorry, I'm liking Jason a little bit more. And I didn't think I could like Jason any more than I do. But now on to Christina. Christina goes to see Alexis, and I fast forward a lot of it, but ultimately she wants Alexis to help her prep for the trial, Ava's trial. She wants her to help her with, what to say when she's on the stand. And but Christina's like, oh no, justice is going to be served, and Ava's going to get what she deserves, and blah blah blah. So Alexis says, this is you sound like this sounds like vengeance. And I'm going to tell you something, justice and vengeance aren't the same. And in this case, they are. See, Christina's still Christina. This case, they are. She goes, you want to know who you sound like, Christina, right now? What, you're going to say my dad? She goes, so you sound like your father. Justice and vengeance are not the same. And I want you to be prepared. I'm going to help you. Anyway, I'm going to help get you prepped. But I need you to be prepared. This might not come out your way. And see, Alexis was too kid gloves with her conversation with Christina. She should have said, because those pictures show you as the aggressor. Those pictures do, Christina. And like she told him, Rick will know how to bait you on that stage. I can handle Rick Lansing. She goes, no, you can't. She said, you couldn't handle Rick Lansing in the restaurant. As a matter of fact, you gave him a valuable piece he's going to use. About how volatile you are, Christina. You've already done that. She goes, well, it won't happen again. I won't do it again. I'm thinking, yeah, you will, chick. Yeah, you will. Because that's you, Christina. So anyway, flip side, Molly's at BJ's. She was looking at her phone. She didn't have a text. I was thinking, was she looking at a text from TJ? She's reading her book there. And Isaiah walks in, he knocks her book on the ground, and they start talking Little Women and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, you know what? For two people not to know each other, they were talking a little too much. And we all know Molly will sleep with somebody she don't know. Remember Brando? Her car just broke down a little block or so away. And pretty much after he got the car into his garage or went and got it, or I don't even know if he even had time, she was taking him back home, kissing him, taking him back home because she was mad at what Jordan said to her about TJ. He's through with you, which Jordan lied. Get over it, Molly. So anyway, I said Molly is ripe for that. So it comes out that today is her birthday. And, she goes, my family forgot about it. Now, she didn't mention TJ, that her domestic partner forgot about it too. She just says, everybody in my family forgot about it. And he goes, what, your birthday? How does that happen? So he's a birthday man. And I'm thinking, the man off the grid that goes from camp to camp in Africa, You're a big birthday guy. Really? How? Because see, you haven't talked about an ounce of family that you celebrating their birthdays on. But they sat down. He went and got a cupcake, had a candle put on it, and he gave it happy birthday, Molly. And it came out that okay, because she goes, no, my family is distracted right now. My sister died, and he goes, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Was she sick? And she said no, she was a liver donor, and she something happened after. And he goes, wait a minute, was Samantha McCall your sister? And she said, yeah. He goes, I am so sorry, about that. That was a surprise to all of us. And so she says, well, how do you know Sam? He said, because I was the surgeon that operated on Lulu. So she's like, oh, we were so busy dealing with Lucas, I didn't even stop to think who could be operating on Lulu. He said, well, that really wasn't your place to think that. You were thinking of your sister, and rightfully so. So he sat down. Well, he was sitting down when she blew out the candles, and he said, make a wish, blow out the candle before the wax gets all on the cupcake. So it kind of looked like they actually had a little bite to eat too. But then he had to go. And I said, okay, now she knows he's a doctor that operated on Lulu. She never mentioned TJ. So Isaiah doesn't know a connection between Molly and TJ yet. But here's the thing. Isaiah, to me, is perfect for Jordan, not Molly. That's too messy. TJ, her partner of since high school. Oh, he's a doctor there, and now you know, uh, because Terry called Isaiah, said she needs to speak to him at GH. He goes, at this hour? She goes, yes, I need to speak to you. It's gonna be, we need you on staff here. Watch. And that's how he's gonna stay at General Hospital. Well, let's see. Trina, I'm fast forwarding all her extra anxiety every time, and his name is Kai, not Ty. I said yesterday, or Tay. Kai, you know, yeah, I think yeah. And he's like, no, I found out all my classes. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss a one, and I'll make up, the history, the project. And she goes, don't worry, because I've asked to be partnered with somebody else. And she walks away, and I said, see, thou's protesting too much, Trina. You took one look at his handsome self when you spilled soda all on him, and you're trying to punish yourself right now for thinking someone else is handsome other than Spencer. So now you're going to put up this anger wall as an excuse. That's exactly what's happening. And last but not least, Rick is grilling Ava like a mock cross examine. And Ava was actually very convincing. She did an excellent job because he was asking her some tough questions, and she dug deep. And as he's looking at it, he goes, okay, he goes, you've got it. Now, what you just did, you got to do it on the stand. It was real. It was heartfelt, and it had the perfect amount of emotion. And she's thinking, what? Because she was just telling her truth to him, right? Um, and so he goes, you have to do this again. So anyway, she actually was like, oh, okay, I can do that. Right? I definitely can do that. And that pretty much was it today, but the best was woo. Jason came on in and took care of his brother. Period. Mm. And now Drew is going to probably try to stay away from him, not because he's afraid of him. I don't think Drew wants to truly know what Jason knows, because then he would have to acknowledge his low down dirty dog actions. And Drew's not going to want to do that. So that's it, everybody. Look, hopefully I'm back to Comment Corner on Monday. I'm still not up to it, but oh my goodness, everybody, 96 and counting. If I refresh the page now, let me see, it might even be more than 96. You all have been doing so phenomenally well with comment, yes, still 96, commenting on each other's comments, keeping the dialogue going. I am loving it because as I'm resting, I'm reading Comment Corner and I'm like, yes. The only reason I don't type a comment is in one thing I find is if I reply to some comments versus usually I just do a heart, a like on everybody's. If I just like type a few words on somebody's and few, it messes it sometimes will just I can't see the comments anymore. It acts like I have seen and responded to everything, and then it takes away, and I can't read everybody's comments. So, but no, phenomenal job. Thank you so much for doing that. Make sure if you are watching this daily recap, you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. I'm on a race for 4,000 subscribers. I want to hit that 4,000 mark before the end of this year. So we've got, a month and a half to go, y'all. A month and a half to go. All right, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow for another daily recap.